But right now we're going to go over to our last speaker, who gives me a challenge. I know they refer to you as OTM on social media, but I think that's a bit of a cop-out for me. So Otis, I'd love you to come on board and share your story from perspective really of, although you're part of a big American group, African group, you're effectively the new kid on the block in BPO, and you're putting impact sourcing at the heart of your development journey. So over to you, Otis.
Thank you so much, Kerry. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to the colleagues across the globe. And I just want to acknowledge my previous fellow speakers for sharing very inspiring and quite challenging examples of what impact sourcing can do, for countries, for people, for their careers, and even livelihoods. So thanks so much. Allow me to jump into my slides. If we could move on to the next slide, please. Thanks, Abby. Okay, that's the younger version of me. Thanks very much. We can go on to the next slide. Thank you. So right, just to give some bit of context in terms of who OmniContact is and where we are coming from. So OmniContact is part and parcel of the Econet Wireless Global Group. This is a technology, a telecoms, and a media conglomerate, founded in Zimbabwe in 1998. The group has been in existence for the last 23 plus years. Our group chairman and founder is Dr. Strive Masiwa, who also happens to sit on quite a number of global boards. I think of note and relevant for this conversation is the Rockefeller Foundation, where he's been serving for quite some time now. As a group, we are operating out of 31 countries with presence in Africa, the Middle East, Latin America, and Asia. And we are serving customers in 94 countries. So this is just to help us, set the scene in terms of where OmniContact, fits into this group. So within this group, we've got 13 businesses, and of the 13, OmniContact is the one that is basically focused around the business process outsourcing, and is also looking to start to grow, her wings in terms of impact sourcing. Across the group, we do have quite some interesting and inspiring examples, which I'll, briefly share, but my focus shall be largely on what we are doing within the BPO space. Thank you so much, Abby. If we can go on to the next slide, thanks. So you will see, that lovely couple, before you. That is our group chairman and founder, Dr. Strive Masiwa, and his wife, Mrs. Tsitsima Siwa. Now, when the business was just about to start, they started a foundation that is called Higher Life Foundation. This foundation is basically sitting across our entire group of companies and is at the forefront in terms of championing and driving our social impact investments, in terms of building thriving individuals within the various communities that we operate in. And this is where, from a group perspective, our DNA for impact sourcing, is originating from. And you'll notice that we've got a number of areas where Higher Life Foundation has driven and championed a lot of impact investments, in terms of education, leadership development, healthcare and sanitation, job creation, and rural transformation. So when you look at our, group-wide focus, you'll find that whatever we are doing comes and, perfectly fits under this Higher Life Foundation, which is driving our group agenda in terms of impact sourcing. And one of the key things that we have and we hold at the core of our hearts is that, given the right opportunities, people have unlimited potential and ability and capability to transform their communities and ultimately their nations. I mean, we've had the great stories happening in Jamaica, in Colombia. All those are indications that, it's a commonly held kind of deep-seated desire in any human being to make impact and to make a difference. In terms of what the focus of our programs are, 80% of those are really in the field. And to date, we've seen through this foundation, 250,000 scholarships have been given to various participants, right from primary school through to university. We have a number of our, bright students that have, managed to be within some of the Ivy League universities in the world today. We've got some people that have attended universities like Yale University, Oxford. Some have been to Morehouse, because they were given an opportunity, and we've actually seen that, their best and their potential has actually been, brought out, into being. And you will see that through this program, again, we run mentorship program. To date, again, 68,000 youths are being mentored at different stages of their career development, and as a feeder into some of our businesses as interns, and then they grow up through the hierarchy to leadership positions, management positions. And of course, we don't leave out the fact that issues of equity are quite critical. So the programs are structured in such a way that 50% will be working towards gender parity across the different programs that run. So that's it in terms of the group context. Allow me to move to the next stage of this presentation, where we can now try and really bring it closer home. So that's at a glance who OmniContact is. I think on this particular slide, what I would like to kind of draw your attention to is at the moment, as OmniContact now, outside of the group, we strip out OmniContact. We are sitting at 100 impact source workers that makes about 25% of our contribution to the workforce. And what we are looking to accomplish is to grow this number to 5,000 impact source workers by 2030. It is quite a huge goal in terms of the BPO context of what we are doing, but I do draw a lot of inspiration and encouragement from what we have seen the likes of Dan and the team at Sunderland are doing, and what also Andres and the telephone team are doing. So let me then the next stage.
Oh, somebody's not on mute. Please can you mute? That's better. Sorry, Otis.
That's fine, thanks. Abby, you can proceed. Thank you. Great. Now, in terms of what we do, we have a holistic employee wellness program that is basically looking at the total person, and this is basically to enhance the human experience of our agents. So we endeavor to roll out a number of programs that speak to their emotional well-being, speak to their financial well-being, their social well-being, and financial well-being. That being a critical point in the sense that when somebody is well all round, it means that at the end of the day they are able to contribute in a very productive way in terms of how they conduct their work. So you will see that those are some of our team members where we're having time to go out and loosen ourselves and just get to be recharged and energized. Now, if you could move on to the next slide, please. Thank you, Abby. Right. So I've got a couple of stories in terms of where we've seen the impact of some of these initiatives within our workforce. The gentleman you see there, his name is Willard, and he is one of the beneficiaries that came through that Higher Life Foundation scholarship program. He had basically been unable to complete his university education, and he got an opportunity to go through their scholarship program, and he came out quite well, excelled in his academics, became part and parcel of the Econet group. One of the key things that he did after having been given that scholarship is that he opted to volunteer for a year, and was later, employed within our call center, and he has since risen through the ranks and is now part and parcel of our sales and distribution network. We've seen him go through the ranks as one of the products of this great initiative. I also go into the next example, which is the next slide. Again, it's one of our ladies. Again, within the group, she became part and parcel of our group in 2016. And the remarkable testimony from her side is that when we spoke about how she's been impacted, she started off as one of those agents that we had in the streets selling our products and services. And as but you are degreed and you didn't want to leave this group. Why? She said that one of the key things was that the passion and the mission of the group resonates so much with her that she decided to stay. And from there, she's managed to secure an employment, and she's already part and parcel of our team at present moment. And the last example I have is another gentleman whom we have as one of the team members that we have, who is living with physical disability. And in his own story, one of the key things that he mentions is that OmniContact has actually created that kind of an environment which has made him to be given that level of exposure to some new things that he didn't have before. And the fact that when he's within the team, he's never made to feel like he's a stranger or there's something out of line with him, but he's treated like any other person within the team. So those three examples just give a perspective or context to what we have seen as part of the impact of this great initiative. And as we look at accelerating this program across our BPO business, one of the key things that we have is to put together a model. If we can go to the next slide, thanks. We've put together a model around how we can develop or drive what we're calling OmniContact impact sourcing as a service, which basically is a program that we are looking to get into partnership with willing and like-minded organizations, where we can collaborate together through either a white labeling process or through them being providers of the opportunities that would be providing job learning experiences for the teams that we have, that would also provide earning from this particular program. I must also acknowledge at this stage the earlier in terms of what Dan shared around the earn while you learn, and I believe that as we reproduce, as we look at expanding and developing this program, it will be able to also have similar impact. Just to give context, I did say that we are looking to get 5,000 workers by 2025 in terms of just the impact sourcing side of things. We are also looking to run quarterly cohorts. Under each cohort, we're expecting to bring in at least 500 learners who go through this program in 1 year, and they get absorbed in the process once they're through with their learnership. The minimum size of each cohort can be 20 per partner and maximum up to 100. When you look at the right-hand side of this infographic, you see who the key players will be. So we're looking for global partners. We also have students who are coming through our High Life Foundation, as I explained earlier on. We do have as well graduates that have not.
We've lost Otis mid-sentence there. Oh, no. You're back, Otis. Yeah, we can hear. Well, we can see you again now.
So they're basically part and parcel of this program in terms of the students that feed into this program. So at an annual level, you're looking at 50,000 plus learners or graduates that are available to be part and parcel of this particular program. So at this stage, we're obviously, reaching out and getting those that may be interested to partner with OmniContact. We already have some top universities within the country that have agreed to collaborate with us on this particular program. They've also provided infrastructure and facilities that can help us to drive this particular program. And we expect that the first cohort in terms of this accelerated program will kick off from June, the end of June, thereabout. So let me at this stage say thank you, Kerry, and the team for your time and for giving us this platform. I hand back over to you. Thank you.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much, Otis. And